Hello, Jeff. Nice to have you here in Milan. Thanks to accept our invitation. To start, if you can tell us a little bit about Limestone Capital and your role in the market, please.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Limestone Capital, we're a Swiss-based private equity company. We have diversified into three different components. We have our asset management, private equity and venture, basically, and also private debt. We are hospitality focused, so even though we do venture and private equity into companies, all these companies have one thing in common, and that is that they are based around hospitality. That's everything from hotels, incubating hotel brands, acquiring hotel brands, also to platforms like short stay and even mid stay, and then also into more diverse platforms where people are doing things using technology or using different ways of approaching hospitality. So, but that's us.
Oh, great. We know that you just bought an asset in Sardinia. If you can describe to us what was, why this decision and what took you there.
Yeah, in this instance, we are looking to evolve the brand Ethos, which is one of our own brands that we incubated when we started in 2018. Ethos has grown now to have nine projects in the pipeline, 6 of them are live, including the one in Sardinia. We chose Sardinia because we always like to go into a destination where we know our demographic is looking, and Costa Smeralda is probably one of the most beautiful locations in the Mediterranean, and our demographic, which is very heavy on American, British, and Northern Europeans, had shown a strong interest in going to this destination, but the product that was there in this area wasn't really meeting their expectations. Okay. So we were able to acquire an existing 5-star hotel, but which was more rustic and more traditional, and we were able to come in, put new design, new F&B, and really turn it into a more, like you would say, newer luxury product than what is on the island at the moment.
Amazing. And do you see any other opportunity in Italy, what you're looking for right now?
Yeah, many. There's many opportunities in Italy. We actually came to Italy very early, even though we started in Portugal where we were first expanding. The next place we came was Italy. And it's because Italy, as you also know, has a lot of hotels, but a lot of these hotels are dated and they need to be brought up to a standard of where the demographic that we target is looking. So obviously Italy is also challenging because of a lot of family-owned, smaller hotels with a lot of, people who did a lot of things that were done a long time ago.
Sure.
And so most opportunities we look at have high capex expectations. And also the owners are very reluctant to sell because they may have been in their family for generations. And so you have to look at a lot of opportunities. But if we look at Italy, Italy has something that a lot of other countries doesn't have, in that it has a lot of cities that are interesting for tourists. If you even look at something like the UK, people go to London and they really just go to London. It's quite interesting. Sure. Whereas Italy, they go to Venice, they go to Florence, they go to Rome, they go to Capri, they go to Portofino, they go to Milan, they go to Como. I keep going. It's like all of Italy is interesting, and that's helped a lot by popular culture. There's so many, Netflix series, so many movies, and they're really just constantly filmed in this beautiful country.
Sure.
And that it gives a lot of opportunity for hospitality.
Amazing. And on the last discussion there, people were discussing how hard it is to buy assets in Italy because of family and etc. Yeah. How do you see that across Europe? How hard is Italy?
It's definitely more prevalent in Italy. And it also probably makes it more tricky than other countries. But at the same time, that's the opportunity. Because in Germany, as an example, that doesn't exist as much. But in Germany, a lot of things are owned by larger funds, larger professional organizations. And those guys have a very clear mandate. They have a clear price fixation. And everybody sees the product. Where in Italy, there's an opportunity for people who are a little bit more innovative and can see something and go, this is a bit of an odd building or an odd situation, but this could be very interesting if we turn it around, put some love and tenderness into it, And we have the demographic for that. For example, coming from the US who want this experience of Italy. So,
And in your appetite, how Italy compares with Spain and Portugal and south of France, maybe?
our appetite is just as strong in all the countries because we are looking for a return on investment for our investors. We have all these territories we cover. But as I was saying, Italy has more of a, there's a lot more places you can look.
Okay.
Whereas when you're in Spain, it's more on the destinations and Madrid and Barcelona and San Sebastian. Otherwise, that's sort of it.
Okay.
And in Portugal, it is a little bit similar too, where you really Lisbon, maybe the North Coast now and Porto, and then the Algarve and Comporta. And then outside of that, so Italy really has, all of Italy is potential.
With this interest rate and high inflation, how do you see the hospitality world position on this situation in the world right now?
Well, it's a good question. And realistically, the impact has been not as great as we had expected. One of the biggest reasons for that is because interest rates have gone up because of the fact to control inflation. But the effect of inflation has meant that we have a higher ADR. So the average daily rate has gone up. The average spend of the average customer has gone up. And so our portfolio of hotels and the assets that we either are looking at and are acquiring are also going up in value because of inflation. So all around, the interest rate that we had expected to have an impact hasn't really had an impact because it's been counterbalanced by inflation. So at the moment, also our modeling and our works always had anticipated the possibility of a interest rate to 4%. So everything that we had done even 2 to 5 years ago had actually factored that in. So we've managed to have a very limited effect on this.
Okay, great. Hospitality changed a lot after COVID, right?
Yeah.
If you can imagine the future, what would be the core business for hospitality in the world, and what would be the core business of hospitality for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people, including ourselves, have been focused on millennials. And now people are focused on the next generation because the millennials are already getting old. However, if you really look at a lot of the larger investment firms, they're actually moving towards senior living and the fact that we have an aging population. So I think the call for us will always be being and having like a stay in a hotel in these key areas. It's always the core. But we also think now that there's coming this graying population who are looking for something a little bit different. They want the sunshine, they want the relaxation, but they'll also need different things. And they won't want to go necessarily mountain climbing or crazy. They might just want to go walking. They might want to go wine tasting. So, but the core will always be for us is just making sure that people can come and have an experience and have a great stay in one of these great locations. So, cool.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Good.
Yeah, regarding ESG, how when you're gonna buy an asset or you're gonna refurbish, how is ESG relevant for you?
Well, for us, it's very important understanding that most of the assets that we acquire, we will divest within a 5 to 10 year period. And also some that we are doing ourselves from our own, for example, balance sheet, we might hold for long term. And both of these we want to future-proof.
Sure.
And we believe, due to the direction that everything is heading, you will save a lot of money by making sure that your assets are built to the highest standard of ESG. But also, when you want to sell them, the people buying them, that's one of the first questions they're saying is this, what is your consumption? It's a little bit like buying a fridge nowadays. You go, is it, you don't want to buy something that's F rated, right? Yeah. You want to go C or up. And I think that's very important. It's only going to get one book. So, and that's why it is fundamentally important for us.
Amazing. Jeff, thank you very much. It was nice to have you here. Thanks a lot again.
Thanks.